Well, if they can put up more to have as a threat, if something is to happen to the Warlock, it's always a good kind of plan B or safety net, rather, instead of putting all your chips on the Warlock table, whatever that table would
So
look like.
one combo that the cut has is actually pretty nice between these two is obviously you have the Ink Swell on the BH, which anywhere the BH roams, he's going to be strong because like the Grimstroke and the BH can go together. But the double track into double Shuriken is legitimately like a crap load of damage. It's a lot because it bounces to
Oh,
both of the targets twice, right? So
super
it's like,
crazy off meta call. What if they went with the Tinker? I know it popped up earlier in the Hands of Secret, but remember the old bounty hunter track? You get free lasers, you get free rockets
yeah,
all around the
you're
map.
right.
It's
Percentage
totally cheesy,
HP
but
reduction against Lone Druid and the Golem too. Actually, that could be really good. The only problem is I don't think Little Nick plays Tinker at all. He plays like the generic Spirits mid. I don't even know if he plays all that much Storm. So he's a relatively new mid player. That's the only issue. And Tinker has never been strong since Little Nick started playing mid. So I don't know if he can play it.
wow. That is crazy to think about. That is a thing for a lot of the new blood players, and an advantage, of course, to some of the more boomer players who've been around forever. It's just let's flip back the book a couple of pages, dust off our old tinker fingers again, and adapt to what the meta is now. And
Okay.
Double fear, gentlemen. Double
Oh
fear.
boy. Am I crazy here? I feel like if you're the cut, you have to deny pick Mars. I don't know how you can give them Mars, Warlock, Willow combo. Like the fear into the wall with fatal bonds and the golem hitting you in the pit. My
Gentlemen,
God,
hear me out here, okay? Hear me. I hear you, Jenkins, and I think that's a great idea. Bloodseeker, okay? Bloodseeker combo with double fear. You have all this AoE combo with blood, right? It's actually not just immune.
Okay, they actually did it.
This is your time to take Bloodseeker, all right? Bounty gets low. You can see him invisibly. Everything's fine. It's a good, clean hero this game.
It's so sad to have to pick something like that.
This is what they had planned all along.
You do
Jenkins,
not.
okay?
You do Bloodseeker.
Yeah.
I mean, you really love the idea of this, like, fearing 5 people with ruptures on them. You will never shut up about this one.
Even just as a team fight combo, it's actually really good this game. They have, like, Brambles into Blood Right. They have all this stun with Lone Druid and Warlock. It's actually a good pick in general. But I like the Cuts lineup because they have, like, a lot of hard to spell / status resist now. Because Troll builds status resist as a default. The Shard on Grimstroke is really good this game, like you talked about, not just for Bounty Hunter, but for Troll to get extra hard to spell. And when he gets 25, he can hard to spell himself as well to counteract a lot of these stunts coming out from 4 Zoomers. Okay, we're going to see a Brax Brew.
Brax Brew. I mean, that's kind of what I just talked about, right? It's one of those things like Brax has been around forever. I'm sure he's played Brew across 3 old metas of Dota and different even types of pandas since then, and mid or what have you. So just let's get it back into the ringer again. But what is it that makes the panda look good in this kind of situation where you've already built a lot of team fight and you were possibly looking at the idea of Mars, and Mars, I agree, would have been a fantastic piece for their lineup, but Brew and Mars are not quite the same. So are they going for something a bit different, or does it work out the same as the Mars?
I think it's like in terms of what you wanted the Mars to do, it kind of offers you that. I mean, it gives you the frontlining bruiser guide to go in there and like disrupt in fights. It's a bit of disable for the Warlock to get some damage in, but I think it's just generally like a pretty good brew game. It doesn't really combo all that well with the other heroes. It's just that you can lift the Troll when he ults. There's not really anything to like instantly silence or disable him. Like you're gonna have to catch him with the spear or catch him with the Grimstroke bug, which is really hard, especially with the split being so easy to get off these days and having 2 of them with the Aghanim Scepter. It's they just don't have anything to really disable the Brew and burst him before his split consistently, I should say. Like if they do catch him with the silence on Grim, they obviously can do it, but it's like there's no Lion, right? There's no hero that can instantly make it so he can't split. He can pretty easily get it off.
Status resistance doesn't affect the I know it doesn't affect Yules, but does it affect the Panda Tornado? I assume
I'm not sure.
But I'm not sure.
That's a good question.
But you should be able to hard dispel with like the Grimstroke stuff, like we talked.
The Grimstroke stuff, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, kiting Troll, always the most annoying thing as a Troll player.
It is.
Scepters, 4 staffs, all that good stuff.
Underlord, even though Mars is already taken. I guess does Lil Nick sometimes play Mars in the mid lane, or what the hell ban is that from 4Zoomers?
I have not seen him play. I mean, I've seen Little Nick play Troll, which still would beg the question, then what the hell is Scourge McDuck playing? So it's a bit of a weird ban. I think they just think that the Underlord would be really good for just sitting in front of towers and doing percentage damage to the bear, which is all of their push currently. So the Underlord would basically dumpster that. Okay, also to block pick it if they were to go for like a PL, which the cut looks like they thought it was going to be a PL.
We're running back the Slark again as the 5th and final pickup once more. Sammy boy, you know, while I would say that there is a lot of innovation on this team and style and stuff like that, I would say Sammy's probably one of the more just kind of headstrong, like I'll play the meta kind of cores and do what I can for farm efficiency. He doesn't, again, you know, Suns fan, dribble the ball between his legs a whole lot. He's kind of simple bounce pass, chest pass, let's get it done, layup, you know?
The ultimate counter to Slarky Malarkey. I was going to mention this as being decent against Lone Druid Bear as well. At least it used to be.
All right, quick predictions.
Slark, all right, I'm going to go 4Zoomers. I think Slark is actually a good hero now as opposed to last patch because his shard just punishes non-AoE, which they don't have a ton on the cut right now.
I'm going to go Zoomers. You have 4 melee against Warlock. This never works.
Oof. All right, let's see if Zoomers are going to shut this one down 2-0. If the cut can somehow take us to a game number 3. Let's get into a break, but when we come back, we got Lyrical and Trent on the mic.
Welcome back, friends. Game number 2 ready to unload here. Trent, we got a Lone Druid. How you doing, man?
Lone Druid? I don't care about Lone Druid. We got Brewmaster. I never get to see this hero anymore, right? He got that eggs upgrade, and I feel like he never quite managed to land into the pro scene after that. So I'm hoping we'll get a chance to see it. Double brew split. You know, this guy, best team fight in a single hero, maybe in the entire game when it's played at its peak. So let's see what Brax has got for us.
Yeah, and I think that we've seen some recent brews that have gone for like the Cinder Brew build, which I think is kind of neat. And it feels like that's something that, you know, since all it takes now is any amount of spell damage at all and you get the Ignite going, could be kind of abusable here in this matchup with Ocean. We'll see how it works.
Yeah, Brax, he's been very busy in the pubs lately. In fact, Brew's one of the few heroes he hasn't played. I noticed he was spamming a little bit of Tinker.
Oh, God. Everybody's doing that.
Yeah, a little bit of offlane instead of the support style we've been seeing for some people, too. It didn't work out for him. Don't worry, guys. He went 2-4. I guess, I mean, to be fair, he got a couple wins, which is a little bit dangerous in itself. But, yeah, he has pretty much tried every hero this patch but Brewmaster. So this will, I mean, he might have played a little bit, but at least in the past 8 days, no public brew games for him.
Okay. Something to definitely watch for if he has any unique ideas that he has coming out. Maybe he's playing that on a Smurf. I don't feel like Brax is the type of player that Smurfs. I'll be real.
He lets it go out there, you know, into the abyss. Let the people see what he's working with.
Pingu, they knew he was up here because he got the D ward immediately. Gunner, is he going to be able to outclick him on Pingu? Gives him the punch, and not quite able to get it. Well, Nick, feeling all of our emotions right there.
Well done.
You know, it's interesting. We got Brewmaster coming back into the fold. We've got support Bounty Hunter. I feel like it's 2017 or something. It's crazy. Except there's Dark Willow here now.
I mean, we got Tinkers and Storm Spirits too. It's getting a little bit dangerous. Now we just need Necrophos to make a comeback, and everything will be back the way it was.
Yeah. It's exactly. That's the hope. But I think that this match in particular, a lot of the game does feel like it ends up being about these lone druids and, you know, coming online, taking down all those towers. Do you think that that's what is going to be the story of this game, or did the cut have like answers to it? What's your read on how this one's looking?
To me, first, like, we got to go our building blocks, I think, in a matchup like this, because the whole laning thing with the lone druid, I think, is the most interesting thing about the hero right now. Because, I mean, it's always good as lone druid if you can come out ahead in the laning stage. You're not necessarily expecting to in all cases. You're almost hoping to just, like, get the farming items and stuff in, like, past patches. But with the way the runes work now and the power of this bear, it kind of feels like you should be able to even garner an edge in lane now, which seems a little bit ridiculous on this hero with how well it scales.
Right. And we've seen this a couple of times now where Gunner goes for the bear to one side, then him on the other, and then you can use the fear to secure the rune. Really nasty stuff. And I was thinking that, okay, well, you're taking this troll mid so that way he doesn't have to worry about it that much and he can just be safe. But Nick's still going for a bottle. So a little surprised by that.
And again, I think Gunnar even talked about how if they don't have a stun, there's nothing they can do. Right? Because that's that simple. You will get roared.
Well,
Up top,
we'll
a little bit of trading, huh? Pingu, ooh, double Bramble.
Yeah, dude, and that Cinder Brew, oh, so much damage comes out, and Pingu goes down. Wow, that was really painful.
Yeah, Cinder Brew, I don't even think it was touched in the most recent patch in 7.29 either. It's just an ability that's been buffed like over time to being very strong when it has combos. You've seen teams run that Vengeful Spirit, just like utilizing the Wave of Terror. In this case, you'll just have the Brambles, and even the Shadow Realm should be able to proc it too. So plenty of ways to set off that Ignite.
Absolutely. Painful stuff. I think even, talking about Troll, there was a time period there where it was like just even the axes getting thrown out to activate it. It's like any of those little annoying things that normally feel kind of bad are that much worse with that ability.
And how about an Urn?
Why not?
Invoker Cold Snap, Brew Cinder Brew. Great use here. Urn, a very feel-good item. You don't necessarily have to go for the Vessel. It is a nice Vessel game, though, with like Troll and Bloodseeker. So if he gets the space for it, maybe. But
look at this. Gunnar pulls the wave back to the tier 1, gets the bounty rune, and now he's going to TP the Baron back. And then he's going to be able to go and get the other one.
Oh, he's going to beat the bounty.
Yeah, that's sick.
Oh, they even have the ward watching
man.
it too.
And Gunnar doesn't miss out on any XP in the mid lane either. So frustrating to play against this hero, I think.
Enjoy it while it lasts, Gunnar. Enjoy it while it lasts. I predict this won't survive.
Ooh, up top again.
Patch.
Pingu in trouble. Pingu going down. And the silence comes out. Not going to be able to stop the pressure coming in. This is a dangerous lane up here.
Yeah, I don't feel like this bear should be allowed to pick up runes. I think if it's in your range, maybe it can be allowed to pick up runes. Just like you'd be able to deny it or something, but it just seems so crazy. Then again, the hero's also not like super overtuned unless you're doing this, so then you get into the merit of like, well, can at least buff other aspects? I feel like I just prefer that. But it's also impressive to watch someone like micro the bear, like with this knowledge of like where the enemies are and trying to abuse their positioning because he's stealing away their runes. So like, I kind of like it. It just feels a little too strong. Maybe.
Yeah. I guess it's one of those things again where it's like broken by virtue of the fact that everything's a little broken.
Yeah, that's why we love Dota.
Exactly. All right. I've resold myself on not hating it.
Right, we love Lone Druid again. Awesome.
Speaking of which, he's having a pretty good lane. All the lanes farming away at this point. Nobody's getting really hamstrung out of the early going of this one. Yeah. Oh, this is the bounty hunter life,
He's feeding away,
He's got level 3. Like, I remember times when bounties were running around level 2 at this point in the game.
A level 2 at 10 minutes back in the day, the support bounty.
Yeah.
Times were tough. Big improvement.
He's going to get some pulls off here. And I think that the other thing is, like, so often the big counter to bounty hunter was the early push lineups. And that's, I think, what Zoomers are looking to do with this draft they've put together.
Yeah, they definitely have potential for that. And the thing is, they don't even need to do that necessarily. Like,
right.
They can do basically like slow objective takes with their ulti on the Brewmaster.
Well, we will see. He's already level 4 now in the Brew. Obviously going to wait for that big level 6. And then at that point, Scourge McDuck has to be super careful about where he's playing because there's definitely kill potential there. Oh. And chase. I mean, there might even be kill potential right now, depending on how this goes. Scourge McDuck getting chased down. The brambles were blocking his easy path, so he has to go off to the right further. And just bullying back this Bloodseeker.
I caught one of your games earlier today, Lyrical, and I noticed that you've been watching Pro Dota. Because I saw you buying raindrops like a good lad.
Oh, you're talking about that. See, I'm
only talking about the good here, bud. Don't worry.
Okay. I thought you were going to talk about when we played against Scourge McDuck and he went 40-0 on us.
Oh, you can tell the people about that if you'd like. It might make him feel better when he dies here.
A little bit of extra gank ability there. Yeah, he's been definitely spamming out those pubs, looking pretty good. They do manage to take him down there. This is just the strength of the lane, though.
Yeah, and now he's going to come back in this lane versus a Brewmaster who still has one more Urn Charge, 6 Raindrops, which block up to 120 magic damage. Pretty nice versus a Bounty Hunter that throws out a Shuriken that does 150 magic damage.
does get clipped right there, and it doesn't block any of that damage. That's for sure.
No, that's true. That is the pure. But it's okay, because Scourge also has raindrops that he just blocked the clap with. Raindrops everywhere, guys. Make sure you're buying them. They're the hot thing. Ooh, nice spear in the bottom lane to protect against that potential pounce from Sammy.
And those fatal bonds. Just does a good chunk of damage there. I mean, you link up to those big creeps, and it's gonna be hurting for Vol and Tingle King down bottom. But the pressure is gonna be mounted mid. Lil Nick headed off to the side to fill up his bottle, and takes a couple of swipes from that bear. Doesn't need to pressure it too much, though.
Yeah, Warlock players, don't overthink about the heal and everything. Just keep hitting fatal bonds on multiple heroes in the creep wave. That's the real key to laning with that hero.
Yeah. Can just do so much damage. And it racks up really quickly.
It really does. And the cast range is great. Like, it's not like you're in any sort of danger when you're doing it. Like, you could just threaten people who are just trying to play the lane. It's Brax. Oh, this is a great time to gank him.
Up top, chasing down, wanting that kill, and they get it. Nice rotation over by Vol, and Pingu making sure that he's around for the action as well.
All right, we had
4.5.
Yeah, 4 denies there, so maybe that wouldn't have been quite enough to get him to 6, but yeah, he was only 41 XP away.
And down bottom, they use Arena, don't get the kill on the Warlock. So the cut succeeding on one kill, missing on the other. Very, very interesting stuff here at the early goings. I'm kind of impressed with the cut and how they're playing it so far. They don't look bad.
Now, the danger zone is approaching, though, with the LT on the Brewmaster, right? That's where they have a little bit of a power spike. You know, you don't want to, like, force it necessarily. You don't have to, like, you know, instantly go for the kill. But if they notice that Scourge McDuck is left alone, like maybe they get some deeper wards in behind around where Pingu and Vol are, they might just go for it. And all right, we're just going.
Rupture going to be used on the Dark Willow and trying to take down Scourge McDuck here. Can they kill him? Windwalk, Hurl Boulder, round 2, lifts up that Bounty Hunter. They don't quite have the damage, though.
Yeah.
With forcing back the Willow, they weren't able to get it.
I'm a little surprised. That's kind of the point I was making, where I'm not sure why they rushed it so hard. Like, she wasn't even able to get off the Bedlam or anything there.
Right.
They just, I feel like now you're not as threatening in the laning phase either, right?
It's true. I mean, there is still that danger of the Dark Willow and what she can do, but maybe not the biggest deal at the moment.
They're stalking Gunner here, but I don't know. He's got 1,000 HP, a Fairy Fire, and Lil Nick's going to make the run up the stairs, but no, they don't go for it. They're just going to be happy with their ward and maybe see if they can find a weaker target in Ocean rotating over.
Now, Brax, they anticipated that movement was coming over there, and now maybe not going to be quite in position for the chase down here instead. Here we go. Inkswell run down. Silence is there afterwards. Has that stroke. A couple more punches is all they need, but he did manage to get the Drunken Brawler off, and that's enough. And now with the Bedlam for the turn, Vol in some trouble. So too is Scourge McDuck. They're going to kill them both. Oh, hot damn. Chase down almost enough to get the kill on the Pingu. Can he get him? Yes! He just smacked him. Ocean cleans up. What the hell? He killed them all.
He's almost level 7.5. He's almost the same as the Bloodseeker. Brewmaster's Brax's 8th most played hero, by the way. No surprise, I suppose, in some of these. 37th game on it. 55.6% win rate. Not too shabby. Thank you, Knoxville.
And, I mean, you know, you got to be pretty comfortable on the hero to do that without the ulti. Granted, a lot of that was Ocean and maybe the Cut's decision to turn and fight also.
Yeah, spicy stuff there. And now Brax just comes in with a catapult. They want to try and get the most out of this that they can. But Tingle King's here. Oh, they're smoked up. They have Rena.
Okay.
15 seconds until the split. This would be such a good time to catch Brax.
Looking for it. Who do they find? Oh, the stun's still able to connect, and they're instead going to go on to Gunner here. Catches on to him. He got True Form off. You're not taking down that bear. He's too big. He's a scary bear. And they are going to still sit comfy as can be. No Arena, but they got the split. Brax running in. Come at me.
Doesn't even want to use it.
In trouble. They do drop the Golem down. And the Fatal Bonds connects over to the side as well. Yeah, 4 Zoomers to get in this tower.
Oh, no. What a disaster. Almost a chance to kill the Brewmaster before he splits, or at least has it available. But because they botched the Arena, now there's no threat. They bring in the Golem. Now he knows he doesn't even have to use the split, so they get the mid-tier 1. Excellent use of the 10-minute catapult there from the 4 Zoomers. Very well communicated there across the team to go for that.
Maybe a chance down bottom, though. Try and take down Sammy, and they get him. Oh, what beautiful execution from Vol and Pingu. The support's making some moves. And Nick with the all chat. You like to see it. Uh-oh. Oh, my God. Are they going to die to Fatal Bonds? Pingu, you're so low. Pingu,
Scourge
no.
up top, too.
Pingu, get out of there. The chase down. Oh, they take him down. Vol ends up cleaning up afterwards. So Scourge McDuck going down is definitely the bigger kill, though.
Yeah, he just gets straight up bedlammed and veiled. That was a lot of damage. I mean, you have to keep in mind that same boy going down, he is against the old Bloodseeker, so one of the absolute best counters, if not the best counter in the game, versus the Slark.
That's very good.
Makes it a bit harder to test the limits on the hero, that's for sure.
Right. Yeah, you kind of definitely need to play it much more safe.
You just gotta like throw your ulti and keep fighting, basically.
Exactly.
No hiding in the trees.
So the pressure up top is trying to be matched down bottom, but they just don't have that same type of like pushing potential. Bruce Split's going to be used now on Tingle King, trying to slow down the Slark by keeping vision on him. But eventually, oh, Tingle King doesn't connect on the spears. It wouldn't have mattered anyways. He was super dead.
The worst part is Sammy knew that either the bounty was stalking him or he was under the ward anyway. And they still just get that kill.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Well, they know he's still
what
on
a
them.
nuisance.
Yeah.
Very, I mean, he has 2 sentries. He's like, well, I just followed you here before. I got another sentry. I know you can't see me.
You might smack the saber.
Yeah, take that gold. Get him.
I like that. This is good.
This is the strat. He's buying dust. He's like, I'm so tired of this guy.
Is he actually? He did buy some dust. It's gonna be a little while. All right, get him again. Get him again.
I mean,
you know you want to.
Do anything here? But other than just annoy him?
They killed him earlier, but yeah, that was a little bit of a different point. If nothing else, like slowing him down is.
Yeah, and that ward doesn't seem. It'd be kind of nice if the ward saw, because then he might think the bounty was still under him.
Right.
Pingu does not have a way to cut his way in behind the tower, unfortunately.
I mean, the problem that I keep on seeing is, like, you know, trying to find these kills here. This would actually be big if they can get it.
Oh,
the Terrorize comes out. Really nice. Nick not caught by it, though. The fear onto both. Can they get any track kills off from this?
Who's trapped
No,
with who?
doesn't look like it. Instead, they're going to die. Arena keeping Little Nick alive for the moment, but holy hell. I mean, they just get exploded.
Yeah, again, the arena used. Again, no split even required. It's still on cooldown for another 30 seconds. So when that comes back up, Brax will have free reign pretty much anywhere to attack a target. Dangerous stuff here. I see Nick is rushing the Aghanims this game on that troll for the Dispel. It's obviously very nice versus the Warlock.
Yeah, much needed. Need something. Track now onto Gunner. They don't have Arena.
Have Rupture, but he's just not fast enough. Look at this guy go.
Tries to slow down there. Gunner shows her up and turns around and says, yeah, let's fight. Why not?
And he's on a ward. Gunner is not afraid. I don't know. Maybe he should be.
Yeah, and Husky's over here, too. He has a golem. Spear. Extra things from Rupture, but he got the heal off. And Brax on the other side kills off the freaking Grimstroke. They're trying to take him down, but now the Fatal Bonds onto both. Scorch McDuck is going to die. Gunner is unfazed in the least bit. They've got dust for Pingu. I think Pingu's going down as Nick falls on the other side of the map. Yo, yeah, just call it. GG, it's done. Nick is over it. Oh, my God. Oh, Lordy. This game was over, Trent.
Respect, I guess. I mean, yeah, it probably was over.
Right.
Probably not going to learn a whole lot more than that. Thank you for keeping us on schedule. I know that they do their best to do so.
Oh.
Or maybe ahead of schedule, so that's fine. Damn. Okay, well, guys, that's a been a rough one. What, all 3 lanes won? So, into game?
It felt even-ish. It didn't feel like it was a super hard win, right? They got some kills on Dire a couple of times, and
mid lane,
I
though,
agree.
top lane, I mean, maybe bottom lane was like kind of even, I guess. Yeah. And then they were like annoying and following them around. But like the 10-minute catapult mid, tower's just gone. They have a couple chances with some fights. Maybe the arenas are botched. The dives at the towers are botched. They just tried to kill a lone druid 3v1 and Warlock showed up and turned it into a massacre. I don't blame the tap out.
I'm with you. And this is something that we've seen the cut do before. They did this previously when they were kind of getting stomped on. So it just feels like they're the type of team that's like, all right, no reason to like mess up our mentality going forward. This is a really good team. We're going to learn what we can from it. And they had a lot to learn from that one for sure. Wow. But 4 Zoomers taking care of business, Trent.
Yeah, looking very clean. I mean, this is, hey, that's faster than I think EG beat them. So ergo, the Zoomers must be better than EG. I mean, that's just simple math here, guys.
Transitive property. That's what happens. Well, all you fine folks out there, we do have more action to come. There might be a little bit of a break, which I think we have some cool Phil stuff for, hopefully. I might be spoiling things, or I might just be wrong. But anyways, we're going to head on back to the panel, and we're going to go to a break first. See y'all then.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome on back. More NA DPC action to continue here. Sorry, I got the giggles because that was my favorite bop about to come on our music track, but we do have to skip it for now because, well, that game went pretty damn fast, gentlemen. It felt like the time we took to do our mustard donut fill was 3 of those games put together, but it is 4 Zoomers who do get the win at the end of the day, a 2-0, and we're going to try to find a way to figure out something to talk about right now. Jenkins, your take on game 2.
Yeah, you know, you lose all 3 lanes. That's how she goes, I guess. That was quite the outclass, as we see beautiful XPG on the screen here. We will go ahead and talk about that instead of the game, because there's a lot more happening over to the left of the screen than there is on the middle.
You know, the gunmetal really's got a clean, glistening shine.
It does. It's beautiful.
And no, in all seriousness, you know, they came out, they got that lone druid, they got a lot of comfort picks early, and you know, even though it was the clever swap at the end, you know, Suns fan, they got the Bloodseeker that you were clamoring for. Maybe not on their side in particular, but you know, not really able to get it to amount to a whole lot. And then just there were the tips and the shenanigans, and it felt like there was just no more control.
My boy. Hey, listen,
God, he's my favorite.
Maybe I'm in the minority here, but I know the game was probably over. I can't understand the mentality that you concede at 15 minutes. That's kind of crazy. You have a bounty. Like, I know you lost all the lane. You have Bounty Hunter. That's like the ultimate hero to just win one fight. You're back in the game. You haven't even gotten to 20 minutes to try his shard out, for God's sake. You have amazing shards on the entire team, actually. Like, I actually completely disagree with this concede. That was way too early.
I agree. I don't want to beat around the bush there. That was like a tilt GG. That was like, we don't want to play this. We feel bad about this, and we want to like save our team's mentality GG. That wasn't like we thought we couldn't win because the game was going this way. There were some psychological, you know, debuffs happening there on the team, and they didn't want them to like stack up for the next series. So I hope they can get it together, because the cut, they looked really promising in Season 1, Division 2, and they've had a really tough first few series in Upper Division. And I really hope it doesn't, like, you know, beat them down to a pulp where they're not going to keep learning and keep growing, because that was like the biggest shellacking we've ever seen on this.
But that's the thing. Like, it shouldn't have been the biggest shellac. I thought the lineup was actually pretty okay. Like, Bloodseeker against Slark, like mid to late game is good. You have I was actually going to mention this as well. We never have time because Dakota just rushes us every time. But
we've got people waiting for us to get to them.
The Ags on Troll was quite good this game because he constant missed against the Lone Druid. You have some good dispels, like taking off Fatal Bonds is really nice. And he was actually going that first item, which really surprised me. But then again, it was a mid troll, so it was kind of like this magic damage dealer, which is kind of cool. But we didn't really get to see anything actually fall into place because the lanes fell apart and they just gave up, in my opinion, too early.
Now, we do have a winner's interview, it looks like, through the power of XPG. I summon 4 Zoomers Gunner winner versus the cut. Gunner, congratulations. Looking good today, my man. Now, you had the Storm. What I feel, or at least we got the impression, is your team's answer for something like the Beastmaster. You know, is that what the mentality was going into that game number 1? Were you guys hoping to get some practice against some meta heroes and use the cut as a punching bag? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, we wanted to give them Beast and play versus it.
I can't hear him.
You know, I didn't play the best Storm. My performance was a little whack, but
I can't hear you, Gunner. I'm sorry. I can't hear you. And I want to be able to answer your question. I'm sure we'll get it fixed. All right.
I could go up and translate if I have to. I can hop into the other channel.
You can read lips, Jenkins?
I have to say, Gunner's background
English,
looks quite nice. Very professional background. Doesn't have a cat in the background though, like me.
Oh, we hear him now.
I hear him
pretty good.
All right, Gunner. Sorry, please.
There
Game 1 again, or go on, sir.
Yeah, Storm. We wanted to play versus a Beast, and Storm was like one of our couple kind of responses to Beast. So we think it can be exposed. So we just wanted to try it. This is like the first time we tried versus it. Yeah.
And how do you feel?
Bad
Did
Storm
you feel
play,
good?
but
Does it feel bad? Oh, okay.
I just played bad. I think the hero was good.
All right, good stuff. Now, of course, as you could see, we were not able to get any other talent, so I have Jenkins and Suns fans still here, and they're still going to be asking you those kind of questions. So, Jenkins, please.
Good, I get to go first. All right, Gunner. Okay, I have a question for you with regards to obviously, I think the Singapore Major showed to everybody the strength of relative strength of all the regions and the strength of tier 2, tier 1.5 compared to 1. I'm wondering if you went against Azumers, if you went against TI3 Alliance right now with how they were back then, how badly would you win?
He didn't want to. Oh, how badly?
3-1?
3-1? Maybe 3-0. Because they just split push the whole time, didn't they?
They did.
We would purchase boots of travel, and then we would win the game.
Okay.
It sounds like you've already simulated this. You're like, oh, it's a 3-1. Actually, it's a 3-0, and we were abusing Boots of Travel, by the way, and it all happened, actually. All right, we also have Suns Van here. Come on.
Mr. Gunner. So obviously, I don't know how much you guys learned from like a match like this, especially when. Well, let me ask 2 questions. First, were you surprised that they GG'd at 15 minutes?
Yeah, I actually didn't notice for a few seconds. I thought there was like voice lines happening, so I missed the GG, and then I just hear like Sam go like, "Wait, they GG'd? What the heck?" And then, yeah, it was over.
So it looked like a tilt GG to us as well. So
it did.
Regardless of this series, what do you guys think from like the perspective of just 4 Zoomers as a whole? What do you guys need to work on most to be able to potentially come out of this region as the number 1 or 2?
I got yelled at a lot after the first game by Husky. Husky got mad at me. He told me I was feeding.
Really?
He told me that I shouldn't feed. But I think if we're on our game, we're a really good team. And we have a lot of good ideas, I think, this patch. That makes me pretty confident versus Quincy Crew and Undying, and maybe EG, depending on how they show.
Well, you have to actually face off against EG this coming Sunday, as it's your 2 series week. I have that right in the schedule, right? I know there was a schedule swap. I want to make sure I'm correct here. Yes, it looks like it is the case. Last season, of course, you guys had to go against EG right out of the gate. So tell me, now that you've had a couple of series under your belt, are you guys feeling more confident? And are we going to see a very contested matchup for series this Sunday?
I hope so. We keep talking about our ideas and what we think people will do versus them. And we're always just like, this looks so bad. Like everyone's responses to stuff looks really weird. Even in our scrims, we have really good results. Sometimes we have to pick new stuff to make sure we're not just picking the same stuff over and over. And pretty confident, I'd say. This will be the actual test of what we like picking.
How quickly can you go from being a team that, like, you know, I don't know, let's say like you got 2-0'd by the cut or something, like how quickly could you go from being a team that gets like 2-0'd by the cut to like taking a game off of EG or beating EG? Like how quickly do you think a team can have like one of these paradigm shifts where it's like, okay, now they're all of a sudden good. Maybe they're picking new heroes or whatever. Is that like a week, or could that happen like within a series?
It could happen within a series. That stuff's always is one game. There's one game that'll break your team or like fix it. And like last season, we got broken after the 3rd game versus EG. And in our scrims, we lost the next like 20 games in a row. But on like the 3rd or 4th week, we won like 1 game in our scrims. And then after that, we kind of fixed everything. We had a big talk. So It can happen in game, and like you lose game 1 versus EG, then game 2 you somehow win, and then you're like, we can do game 3. It's easy. We did it once.
Got you. So it's like one game, but it might take like a week to get that one game to come out and
Yeah,
happen
you have to find
where
the
you have the
game.
shift. Okay, I see.
Okay,
Cool.
I have one quick one. Sorry, Dakota. I know you really want to shut me up, but pick one thing that you think, like the number one thing that's going to get nerfed in the next patch, 7.29C.
I mean, Beast is like fun, but gets old. So
Yeah,
hopefully
I think
Beast. Just make his timing
agree.
later.
No
Just
surprise.
make it a talent again. The bonus damage. I don't know. I don't want to have to play that hero every pub because I have to first pick it every pub, so it's banned, or I'm playing it because I
Right.
don't want to play versus it.
And
And
then
it's just
you're-
not
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, we're kind of tired of the Beastmaster. We saw plenty of them with the good book in last season too, so I'm with you on that a bit. Before we let you go, do you have any words for all the Zoomer fans out there? We always see all these groupies in the chat who are just clamoring for Gunners, so can you just acknowledge them, please?
Yeah. Hi guys. I'll try not to feed on Sunday when we play EG. So
All right, guys, you heard it. Gunner
We'll be
is
better next
stoked to
time.
see you and loves you. All right. Gunner, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you on. We look forward to watching that incredibly hype matchup on Sunday. So take care and good luck.
yeah. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Gunner. Always a good time. Make sure you go hit him up on his stream. Always has a nice variety of heroes and is pretty interactive with his chat and has a good time there. Gentlemen, though, we got to get ready to shift things up a bit. Before we do so, I wouldn't mind checking out an update to those standings to see where things have kind of changed up. I know it was only one series, but we need more things to look at on the screen so we can fill more time. I'm being honest here. All right, here we go. We got 4 Zoomers up at the top with these 2 series wins. We'll see if they can finally suffer their first loss at the hands of the mighty EG later this weekend. And unfortunate for our boys, the Cut, you know, coming in the lowest seed, coming in the new D1 squad, even behind Simply 2-based, it's expected, right? They come in week 1, they're going to have their toughest matches going against Undying, going against EG. We expect them to have a hard time. But now the challenge is on them. You know, I'm sure they're feeling at the lowest of the lows. They're feeling super tilted in orbit, but the most important matches are still yet to come for them. A match against Black and Yellow, against Penta Ace, and against 2-based. If they can get those wins, they can remain in the upper division and still have a pretty good story behind them. I mean, what do you guys think? Would you agree with this, or am I just trying to be some like Disneyland fairy tale for them?
No,
I mean-
I don't think you're. I don't think that's bullshit at all. I actually think the Cut's an exceptionally good team. They've looked really good in like BTS Pro Series and other random tournaments like that. They've looked really good, you know, taking games off of teams like Zoomers, these upper echelon teams before. They've improved a lot. The question is, are they tilted? I would actually put this team on a good day above Black and Yellow and above Simply 2-based, although that's a team that has looked really good too. So they've kind of proven to me at least that they're improving really quickly as well. So that definitely, my opinion changed on that very quickly. But the Cut was one of those teams where like they were looking like they were going to be a fierce competitor, and they just got to get their tilt out of their systems. Like they've played against the 3 of the toughest teams, and they can't let it tilt them. But I know that these guys have their eyes on the prize, and it could tilt them. Like they really want to win. They have the winner's mentality, even though they're the lowest seed. That's just how they are. That's what got them through Division 2. So it could break them, but I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, having the toughest schedule thus far obviously didn't do them any favors, but you can't 15-minute GG. It just can't happen.
All right, Cut fans out there, make sure you go hit them up. I believe they do have a social media account or any of your favorite players, and let them know that you're still a fan, you're still watching and looking forward to their matches moving forward. And as we continue to move forward here, and before we head to a break, I want to give a special bit of love and shout out to that little guy over my corner. That's right, XPG is our sponsor for Season 2 of NADPC, and we could not be more appreciative as, all right, the full screen effect right here, as you can see, that is barren otherwise, but XPG hooking us up with that sick laptop back there, and you can get one yourself. That's right. Scroll down on the Twitch page right now and check out the banner. Click it, because you'll be supporting XPG and you'll be supporting North American Dota and the broadcast, with an opportunity to also win an XPG Xenia XE Gaming Lifestyle Ultrabook. If you don't get your hands on that, instead you might win the Summoner Gaming Keyboard. If you have both of these things in your bedroom, I mean, I don't know what can go wrong in your life. And all on top of it, we'll throw in some BTS merch. And yeah, some awesome stuff. Shouts again to XBG. Lots of love to them for putting money in and supporting the Dota scene here in North America. So lots of love for them. What would you do with your life, Jenkins, if you had a Xenia notebook? I mean, anything would be great, right?
Probably spend most of my day playing Dota. I would go to the gas station frequently at 3 a.m. and get Red Bull Sugar Freeze for $7. And the only social interaction that I would have with anybody in life would be the gas station attendant that is very tired and does not desire in any way to see me. And I would try to have some sort of small talk just to have some sort of social interaction that's real in the real world. And then I would go home feeling completely empty.
Wow, that's a good sell, I have to say.
Yeah, XPG, get one in your life, boys, because then you're going to feel super happy and rad, just like Jenkins. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and
Ask
get
me
into
next time, Dakota, for God's sake. Don't make that mistake again. All right?
I won't.
I want one. You could get me one, but I would just do this. I would just do that.
Yeah, you guys are like, oh, yeah, Xenia, maybe they'll hook me up with a laptop. I'm like, sure, guys, go out there and show them your best. That's your best, Jenkins? Yeah, good luck with a
Oh, yeah,
laptop,
that is my
dude.
best.
Good luck.
It is.
All right,
I can't help that.
We do have just a little bit of downtime here, and then we're going to come back and reset for our second up-and-coming series, and this is going to be an exciting one. We have Arkosh going to be set to go toe-to-toe against the D2 Hustlers. Jenkins, we are so sad we're not going to have you here on panel, unfortunately. I know you have a dentist appointment to be at, but we are going to be joined by the lovely Neff on the panel. It's great to have him back from season 1. And with that said, we'll go to a break. When we return, more NA DPC action to continue.